Femi,
Yep.
are you a micromanager?
Am I a micromanaging marketing leader? So I have had the opportunities to manage a team of 7 people, and I've had the opportunity to have direct reports that also have direct reports as a contractor and a consultant. But before I answer the question, I first need to highlight the importance of understanding how people find themselves in marketing leadership position. Some people are very, very good individual contributors, excellent at their work. That doesn't necessarily mean they are able to become managers, but they get, because of progression in career and moving up the ladder, they find themselves in management positions. It's not their fault, they're not built, it's not in their DNA. While you have some people that are perfect individual contributors, but they find themselves in marketing leadership position and they're able to use project management skills, facilitation skills, and they're just natural at managing people. So when it comes to micromanagement, I think it's important to ask, why do people micromanage? So the number one thing in my experience, there was this client I had a few years ago, and this individual, you could tell that he had that, what do you call it, imposter syndrome. And instead of him to this individual to embrace and empower people, he was just micromanaging everything. So I think micromanagement starts from a position of lack of trust. When you don't trust people enough to let them do their jobs because you have doubt in them being able to deliver quality work. And in some instances, that doubt is not because they don't have the skills. That doubt is because you yourself, as a leader, have that imposter syndrome. So the first thing you need to identify as a marketing leader is, what am I doing that is causing micromanagement? So if you think to yourself that you don't trust your team, and sometimes you trust even external agencies. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with trusting external agencies and consultants, but it just comes from a place of trust. If you don't have trust, then you have a problem. The number two thing I've seen when it comes to micromanagement is, micromanagement doesn't even come from the leaders alone. You can have peers that will try to micromanage your work. So again, that comes in situations where the marketing leader has not created a clear understanding of responsibilities and roles. A good example is, I worked a few years with a client where you had the CRO team and then you had the content team. There was no clear understanding of who owns or who is responsible for certain elements on the landing page. You have situation where the content team is then encroaching in what CRO thinks should be CRO, and then encroaching in what SEO thinks should be SEO. So you have those kind of friction that sometimes causes internal politics. And when the manager then comes into the picture, he or she feels the need to micromanage the situation. So if you want to avoid micromanagement, the first thing, you just make sure you grow trust for your team, trust in their skills and abilities. And if you don't trust them, then you need to put them through training, pay for training and development for them to have the skills that you need. But if you feel the training and development out there is not good enough, then hire contractors like myself or agencies to help you train your teams. Agencies can offer training support while helping you with your strategy. So that's one thing that is important. And another thing is unrealistic expectations. When you Most times what I see is when a leader goes into a meeting and the leader feels the need to impress their peers and their own leaders. I'm talking to the marketing leader here. The marketing leader is trying to impress the CEO, trying to impress the CFO, and they just agree to unrealistic expectation. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, you just see people pulling out forecasts out of their behind, like, oh, we're going to do this, do that. And then you come back to the team and then you want them to deliver the moon and the stars. And when they're not delivering that, then you have that need. You don't know it, but because you've set unrealistic expectations, you just then feel the need to just kind of micro manage them. So I think another problem that I've also seen is situations where a leader, because they've been a very good individual contributor, they have not detached themselves from the execution phase. They just come into teams and they just feel the need to be involved in execution. They should just stay in the strategy phase of things. So, as a marketing leader, if you're being nosy into the execution, your team might not be able to tell you, but you're becoming a slow micromanager. Then, as I mentioned, the relationship with peers causes stress, and in those kind of situation, a leader needs to manage those relationships. So yeah, I am a certified coactive coach. I'm also a certified systemic team coach. So I'm saying this not just because of what I think, it's more from a qualified coach. A lot of people run around the internet calling themselves coaches without having any actual coaching certification. But as a leader, you really, really need facilitation skills. You need coaching skills. You need to understand how systems work. And one thing that I've seen in teams, in situations where managing capacity is a good way to get visibility of your team's work and activities while also empowering them. Want to be you want visibility into what they're doing, but you don't want to micromanage them. But there are a lot of team structures, team dynamics. Some teams don't even have in-house marketing teams. You can just have you can be like a marketing person within a team, within an organization, and your agency will be your team. And you can also equally start micromanaging those agencies, because those agencies are there to give you the expertise. So sometimes you go to a client meeting and the client is actually telling the agency what to do, and then you scratch your head at why did you hire the agency in the first place? They're the subject matter experts. You need to allow consultants like myself and agencies to guide you and lead you. So micromanagement as a marketing leader is not just your team alone. You can also micromanage the hell out of your agency, and it affects the results you get. So if you have any question regarding marketing leadership, strategy implementation, how to increase conversion rate optimization on your website, connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a send me a private question, and I'll be happy to help you. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you. Bye bye.